Boom the bass like this. He's like this. He's like this. He's like this. Boom the bass like this. He's like this. He's like this. He's like this. He's
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone today? Song? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Nothing rotating circle. Are you saying we're not live? Wait. What? Not live? Is it not working? What the fuck? S7 got the Rancor. What's up? Do I need to restart the stream? But it's the beginning! What are you talking about? I can... Really? Do we need to restart the stream? Live, yes. But working normally? What's up? We having stream problems already? TYB, how you doing? But buffering. Well, I want to sort this out right away before we begin. Hi, everybody. I shut my pants over the monster. Uh-oh. It's okay? Is it okay? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Oh, well... Let me know. I'm sorry if you're having buffering. That is awful. We don't want buffering now. No buffering. Please, stop buffering for Lamia. Please, stop. Thank you. Hey, Lady Tammy, how you doing? Catherine. S7. So, this is gonna be a long one. Is anybody excited for Star Wars? Oh man, I hope everyone's excited for Star Wars. You know what? I watched the Star Wars films, the original trilogy, in the past few days for the first time in like 10 years. I mean, I grew up on these movies. I got an attic full of Star Wars toys. And I watched the original trilogy for the first time in like 10 years. That's what the prequels did to me. I had to put the whole series away for a while. Last night, I started early. I watched Empire and Jedi last night and then went to bed early. Mike trying to finish a paper. Apart from this, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Today is my mother's birthday, though. She is in St. Petersburg. I am sure she is not watching right now, but happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday. She is, she's always wanted to go to St. Petersburg, and she's there for, retired as she may be, she's there for work. But getting to spend her birthday in St. Petersburg is possibly a dream come true, so I sure hope it is. Kim, good morning. I'm so glad the bee arrived. I'm so glad the bee arrived. Spider, yeah, if you're still out there, Spider, good morning. Having any luck? I saw you were up early. You're up early getting things, trying to get things sorted. I can't believe the extent of the issues you've had. Hey, Nade. I don't know if you're out there, Nade, but I'm seeing the retweet of the stream. Thank you, Nade. Where is St. Petersburg again? In Russia. In Soviet Russia, St. Petersburg visits you. That not exactly Soviet Russia anymore, is it? Okay, we are in for a treat. We're in for a treat. S7, let me apologize in advance. There's not gonna be a lot of guns blazing here. There's blaster fire, there's lightsabers, but much to your future disappointment, this is it's a turn-based role-playing game. The action pauses. You don't have to have it pause, but the action will pause every time combat begins. We will be pausing more than in Mass Effect. If you think that power wheel coming up to make decisions mid-combat. In motherland of Russia, St. Petersburg visits you. There you go. Wait. S7, you almost got killed by the guards in Novigrad. Your precious 50,000 crowns. My precious. So, no games to load. This is very special for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons this is very special is the restored content modification. You can see on the menu there. Knights of the Old Republic was made by BioWare. Less than 2 years later, Knights of the Old Republic 2 was released for the holiday season. Under a lot of pressure to complete development for that holiday season, a lot of things were rushed. Cosmopol, how are you doing? Hello. Welcome. So Obsidian made this game based on the assets and engine of the first game, but Obsidian made this game and they were rushed to release it, and a lot got chopped off. End of the game got chopped off. A lot of stuff in the middle got chopped out. A lot of the content that was cut was already made though. The script was written, the voices were recorded, the animations were coded. It was all there. There was just a little bit of integration and polish that was required, and it didn't happen in time for release. So it's taken a fan group to put together all the missing pieces and get them back into the game. That's been around for a while. The 1.8 version of this mod came out 3 years ago. So a nearly complete version of this game has been available. However, this game has been updated for Steam with things it didn't have before. Support for widescreen resolutions, support for controllers, integration with Steamworks for the mod. So if you want to play this game with the restored content, you can get it on Steam, download the mod on Steam. It's a piece of cake. So all the little bugs, movies that wouldn't play. Hey Cosmopol, thank you for the follow. Welcome again. Howdy Pete. Patriarch Pete, good morning. So we're going to be starting a new game. If you're curious about the mods, and what was changed, see here. That is the link to the changelog, if you will. You can get the mod directly through Steam. You can also get it through other sites and the official site. But that forum post on deadlystream.com is an updated version of the original changelog. You can see everything that's been put back into the game. I haven't played this in years. I don't think I've played this since 2012. So I'm about 3 years rusty. I'm not going to remember where things are or what to do. But we're going to talk a lot about it. It's Star Wars week. Oh my god, it's Star Wars week. Bring it all on. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear what you've all been through. I want to hear what Star Wars means to all of you. It means a hell of a lot to me. I might have put it on the shelf for the past 10 years, but I was raised on Star Wars. A little bit of Sesame Street and Superman. How did Jay become a soggy idealist? Well, this is how. KotOR, your first game. Hey, Kintervillis, what's up? Good to see you. Have you played the second one as well? Have you ever played the second one? I was tempted to play the first one. The first one is a bit more linear, even though it has one of the best plot twists in all of gaming. We'll have to talk a bit about the first one. Oh, this music. We're in for such a treat just for the music. We get a week of Star Wars music here. Oh, man. So this is Knights of the Old Republic 2. The story both does and doesn't follow from the first. There's a nice degree of separation. We're going to be able to enjoy this one, and you'll be able to enjoy this one, I think, even if you don't know the first game, although we'll talk about it. Class selection, I'm going to go with the Sentinel. Feel free to give me feedback and suggestions, but I may or may not take that advice. If I remember right, I like playing a Sentinel here. Consular. Jedi Consulars are masters of the Force and spend less time on combat training. Recommended for advanced players only. Sentinel. Well-balanced, possess many skills. Guardian. Focus on combat training and lightsaber mastery. So, power-heavy, saber-heavy Sentinels are somewhat of a mix. Ryan, haven't seen any Star Wars, but played a bit of Lego Star Wars. Which ones did you play? First of all, they're awesome. The Lego Star Wars games are, they're excellent. They are excellent. It's gonna be us. Holy shit! Oh man, Kelly! Oh my god, Kelly! Out of nowhere! Wow, buddy. Wow! Wow! Holy shit! Kelly, my man! Kelly says, Merry Christmas, my friend. That... Wow, Kelly, thank you! Thank you, good sir. Fluffy Bunny 247. Also known as Kelly, he's a guy, don't let the name fool you. Thank you, my friend. That's incredibly generous of you. Wow, out of nowhere. And I can hardly do it justice with a shout out, but let me not forget while we're here. Kelly, that was incredible. Everybody check out Fluffy Bunny 247 and his great stream on Twitch when you get a chance. And his beard. Kelly, I don't know if I ever told you, but I like the beard, man. Cheers to the beard. Cheers to the beard. TYB, beers on Jay. Beers on Jay. And Kelly, thank you all. Good to see you too. How are things? Beer. Kath says, beer! I will end up drunk tonight. Yeah, the beer's not your thing. We can, it can be wine. It can be liquor. So, Sentinel. What do we want? What influences what? If I remember right, wisdom will increase available force points. Let's look through this a little bit. You two? Yeah, we have snow today. Snowed in here today. Great use of spacebar. Jay, great use of spacebar. Pierce, what's happening? What's up, my ninjas? Oh, looks like we've got an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing going on here a little bit. I think that's the only... There's only a few character models with a beard, so we had to do one with a beard. You know I like to play a lot of female characters, but in this game I like to play a male sentinel. I actually like to play a female. I'm worried about spoiling the first game, even though this is the second one. But who here is unfamiliar with the first Knights of the Old Republic and its plot twist? Let me ask that a different way. If you're concerned about spoilers for the first game, let me just say there's some big ass spoilers for the first game. I'll be happy to avoid laying them out. We can dodge those spoilers, or we can talk about them. Some of it will get discussed in the game, but just a little bit. Charisma, high charisma increases the potency of a character's force powers. Reduces the penalty when using force powers in an opposing alignment. A light side character with high charisma can use dark side powers with less of a penalty. And improves your companion's chance to hit. Yes, I know, Master Assassin. Before you go spoiling it, my point is we don't want to spoil it for people who may not know what happened in the first game. Yes, Revan was in the first game. This is true. This is true. Let's not go any further. You find out who Revan was in the first game. Yes, I know that, Master Assassin. I know that very well. I'm trying not to... Anybody out there still plans on playing Knights of the Old Republic for the first time? Got some treats ahead of you. Anyway, charisma influences a character's persuade skill. The force powers of a Jedi with high wisdom are much harder to resist. You also get more saving throws. This is a D20 game. If you're wondering what the underlying rule set is in Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, it's a D20 role-playing game. So a lot of the underlying combat mechanics are very relatable to other D20 role-playing games in terms of resistances, saving throws, 2-hit, damage done. And I haven't played this in years, so we're gonna want dexterity. If I remember right, I like to, first of all, I like a double-bladed saber. And we're gonna need dexterity for that. You don't necessarily want to pump both strength and dexterity. With the right skill mods, or is it a feat? Is it a feat that we're gonna get? At any rate, we're gonna get a feat or a skill that allows us to use our dexterity for 2-hit rolls instead of our strength, which I think is the primary role. Let's run through this a little more. Sorry, we're gonna spend some time. Dual sabers, well, Pierce, that's another option. I don't think I've ever done dual sabers. As much as I like double-bladed, lame dual sabers. We could talk about dual sabers. Anyways, we'll get there. We'll get there. We don't have a saber yet. High strength adds modifiers to melee damage and chance to hit, which is important for characters that use close combat weapons, vibroblades, and lightsabers. But we're not going to pump strength because we're going to get is it a feat or a skill that modifies it so our dexterity is used for 2-hit. So we're going to want dex up. Constitution, everybody's going to need constitution for hit points. We're going to get mowed down. Intelligence, modifiers to the number of skill points a character has to spend on essential skills. Yeah, we don't want a penalty there, but what's your class and spec? Well, hold on, Master Assassin, aren't you getting a little ahead? We're working on the spec right here. I mean, this is it, we're creating it. The only thing I've picked so far is Sentinel. That's it, Sentinel, that's my class. What is my spec? I haven't played this game in years. You got any suggestions? I was gonna go high dex, high charisma, high wisdom. If that answers your question. But I don't want any penalties on my other stats, so Let's see what I have to spend. I start with 15 dex. Is that too much? 15 wisdom, 15 charisma, and then I'm out of points. So if we wanted more strength, constitution, or intelligence, I'm gonna have to make a sacrifice with something else. What do you think about that? 10, 15, 10, 10, 15, 15. It's, in a way, that's kind of a min-max. It's sort of a min-max. For a Sentinel, who is a balanced character, this is not a very balanced set of stats, but I think it's workable. Anyone have any feedback on that? We'll get more points, but not a lot more points. So this is a large determination for the course of the next week. Man, Kelly, I can't even get over that. Where are you coming from with that? That was just awesome. That was just awesome. Thank you. You're thinking that's fine. Let's roll with that. We'll get mods from gear. What have I done? We'll get mods from gear for some of this stuff. Fortitude, reflex. So we get, your saving throws. Saving throws are interesting things in D20 games. It never feels like they're that powerful. But, you can always roll a 1, you can always roll a 20, and saving throws do make a difference. Each class does have skills that are made for that class. So you will be able to level up skills that are, they call them class skills, and this is a cross-class skill. So a Sentinel has class skills of computer use, stealth, awareness, persuasion, security, and treat injury. Treat injury is mostly about using med packs. And we'll be using a lot of med packs until we get substantial force healing powers, or even better, until we have more than one person in the party who has some sort of force healing powers. We're going to be using a lot of med packs. So treat injury is very helpful. Cross-class skills, they will cost more points to rank up cross-class skills like repair and demolition. Look at how balanced a Sentinel is, though. I mean, nearly everything is a class skill for a Sentinel, except repair and demolitions. Demolitions, let me try to remember. Some of these things changed between the first and the second KotOR game. There's a lot of locked containers. In the first KotOR game, you could bust open any locked container with your weapon. End of story. So there was really not any need to have security. Doors and containers. Security is used to access electronic locking devices, doors and containers. You need a little bit of security, or someone in your party does, in Knights of the Old Republic 2, because if you break open the locks on containers now, you will actually damage what's in the containers. Anyway, persuasion. I'm gonna probably max out persuasion. Awareness. You're gonna see things around you. There are mines and other objects that you won't even see if you don't have enough awareness. What's that, Master Assassin? Fence? Computer use. And demolitions, in a way, demolitions and awareness kind of go together. You need awareness to see things, but you need demolition to disarm things, or place them, certain things. You would then have 2 lightsabers. But what? Fence. Fence what? What fence what? Tangled skies, Entropic J. Join me on the dark side. Together we can rule the galaxy. I need to go into my attic and grab some more things, because right now all I have is a Rancor. I need to bring out the whole crew. We need to bring out the whole crew. I think the Star Wars toys are going to get rolled out this week. Alright, let's get past this. We need some treat injury. Stealth. You can go into stealth mode. If your whole party does not have substantial stealth and your whole party starts stealthing, you're probably going to get spotted. But you can go into a solo mode, leave your party behind, and go wandering off and scout things. So stealth is useful. Jarkai dueling. You should Jarkai. Jarkai dueling. Master Assassin, I'm not familiar with that. I am not familiar with that. What else can you tell me? But are you talking about an actual, a real-life weapon skill, or are you talking about something in the game that I guess I've never heard of? I've played through KotOR 2 about 3 times. I think this will be my 4th playthrough, but I haven't played it in years. It's been years. Computer use, 1 point of stealth, 1 point of awareness, 1 point of security, and a little more treat injury. Why don't we start there? Persuasion and treat injury, and a base in the other class skills. No demolitions. I won't be able to disarm any bombs. I guess I could. Repair, real quick. If you have enough repair in the first KotOR, you can do some very cool stuff. If any of you know the character HK47, he's in both games, but you yourself need to repair HK in the first game for some very cool dialogue. So in the first game, you want repair. In the second game, if I remember right, it's not you who can repair HK. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's it. You need to repair HK. I don't have any repair, but I'm going to ignore demolitions for now. Maybe I'll put a point in repair, which costs me 2 points. You're waiting on the results of your laptop. I got an email this morning. I got an email from someone about a damaged laptop. Was that someone from the stream? I haven't answered it yet. I had a bunch of emails and things to respond to this morning, and I barely made it to the stream in time. So I have not answered. Was it someone from the stream who sent me the email about a laptop possibly damaged by liquid? That wasn't you, Tangled Skies, was it? I don't think. You have been granted the following feats. Light armor proficiency. Critical, you get 3 basic attacks for melee. Critical strike, flurry, and power attack. I like flurry. As you level up flurry, you can get extra attacks per round. So if you stack 2 sabers or a double-bladed saber, which inherently has an extra attack, and flurry, which when leveled up gives you extra attacks, you can end up with 4, I don't know, is it 4 or is it 8? You can land so many hits per swing. The damage you do just goes through the roof. It's incredible. It's incredible. So flurry is my favorite attack. Critical strike, power attack, they're great too, but it's not so much my style. You also get 3 ranged attacks: power blast, a heavy hit, rapid shot, and sniper shot. Increased accuracy, decreased damage. Basic weapon proficiencies, including lightsaber. In the first game, you don't begin with lightsaber proficiency. You start off with some melee proficiency, and eventually you get your lightsaber. This game's a little different. Jedi defense, force immunity, fear, Jedi sense, and war veteran. What else? We've got 1 feat. We can pick 1 extra feat here. What's available? I'm gonna want the 2nd tier flurry as soon as possible. Level 4, improved flurry. When you flurry, your defense goes down. So getting flurry leveled up is very important. Look at the top tier flurry. Master flurry, level 8. When activated, this feat allows a character to make an extra melee attack during the round. And character suffers no penalties when using master flurry. We want that as soon as possible. Jay, I am your father. Hungard, how you doing? Alright, Master Assassin in the Star Wars universe. Jarkai dueling is when the Force user uses 2 lightsabers. You have 1 lightsaber in your left hand and 1 in your right, and that's why it's called Jarkai dueling. I'll take your word for it. For all the Star Wars I grew up on, I have pretty much put it on the shelf for the past 10 years since the prequels came out. So I haven't followed the Clone Wars series. I haven't followed any of the animated series, and I've heard they're very good. No, I was so disappointed in the prequels that I needed to take a 10-year break from Star Wars, but that's all off. We're back. We're back. Darth, what's up? How you doing? I won't be using blasters much, so I don't need any of those. What can we get? First tier skill is, I don't know, medium armor. You can wear medium armor as a Jedi. The problem is your force powers will be restricted if you're not wearing Jedi robes, so I'm not worried about that. 2-weapon fighting. How about that? We're going to be using 2-weapon fighting, whether you are using a double-bladed weapon, or whether you're going with the Jarkai style that Master Assassin is talking about. Rebels, yeah, I haven't seen Rebels. So either way, we want 2-weapon fighting. You must have... Where am I at here? Oh, add feet. There we go. restored content mod is in place. We should be good to go. We should be pretty much bug-free. There's our quest journal. The Ebon Hawk. The Ebon Hawk. Here's to the Ebon Hawk. Is heavily damaged and adrift in a dangerous asteroid field. Find the hyperdrive and fix it to restore primary power so that you can dock with the Paragus mining station for repairs. Bonus mission. Jason Taban is lying in the... How do we want to say it? Taban? I think Taban. Jason Taban is lying in the medbay in critical condition. You can use a med pack to stabilize his vitals. To fully revive Jason will require the medical facilities at the Paragus mining station.
Open the game menu. Default.
There you go, Kim. Hey, Antonok, thank you for the host. Spider, thank you for the host. Thank you all, and welcome again. Hasero TV, hey. How are you? RZD, what's up? Good morning. Antonok, you almost streamed KotOR today. Look at how fast T3 moves. I'm loving this controller support.
Beyond the store is the main hold of the Ebon Hall. The store appears to be locked down to a hold. This room contains the glass seal cylinder and the communications console. To target one of these
Computer
objects,
spike.
you will come across many containers, some of which will be locked.
That was an auto host from Spider, all good. He was here before.
I have detected a signal embedded in the static.
Such as opening doors.
Wow, it's so noisy in there. We better get this fixed. Hasero TV, thanks for the follow and welcome again. So this is the computer terminal screen, also the hacking screen. Fortunately, it's not a mini game; it's all a numbers game. Computer spike, slice the system. In order to use the console, you will need a computer spike. Depending on your skills and what the terminal requires, you may or may not be able to do that, and have different options. In this case, it's a tutorial. We just got one computer spike out of a loot crate. And it takes one computer spike to slice this terminal. Success! You have sliced into the Ebon Hawk cockpit computer, bypassing the main console functions. Open the main hold containment door. Sec Talks, right on. Yes, just started. We spent half an hour on character creation, and now we're on the tutorial. We're on the intro. And the Ebon Hawk is wonderfully recreated. This ship was in the first game. Think of the Ebon Hawk, if you don't know the series, think of the Ebon Hawk as the Millennium Falcon for a different crew. Notice how we can bash open locks. In the first game, that works wonderfully. You can bash open anything and take what's inside. In this game, if you bash things open, you will damage what's inside, some or all. So you really don't want to bash things in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Skill is too low to open this footlocker. However, you can use your weapon to bash it open. Click on the bash icon.
I realized that...
Press 1.
Let me turn down the game sound a little bit for now because I'll turn it back up. But I realized that the in-game... the noise of the ship being broken is really irritating. So let's get through it as quickly as we can. It's not throughout the game, it's that stupid monitor in the background making that horrible noise. See, broken item and 2 computer spikes. So if we had had...
Bashing or blowing open a container will break some of the items in the container, but you can use even broken items. They can be turned into useful components at a workbench.
Oh, that noise was awful. Parts. Broken droid has nothing. Notice how this droid that I just looted now says nothing. That was one of the big frustrations with the first game, was that you would loot things and it wouldn't be marked as looted. So you would run around in places you'd been and not know which containers you had looted.
The Ebon Hawk. Access the map screen by pressing M. While some doors can be bashed open or cut open with a lightsaber or cutting tool, some doors require the use of the security skill to open. Use your security skill from the action bar to open this door and search the remains of the cargo hold beyond.
Hey, Hasero TV, thank you for the host. Also, cheers. All this host love, we're just getting started. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day.
This lift will take you to the outer hull of the Ebon Hawk. for accessing and repairing the hyperdrive. Use the lift controls to go up. You can use
The controller is very smooth. I'm surprised. Go outside, stay here. Sure, we'll go out on the hull. You know, I was watching Empire and Jedi last night. See if there's any, look at that. The graphics might not be new, but how awesome is that? You're in a wrecked ship floating in space, out on the hull, in the middle of an asteroid field. That's Star Wars. That's Star Wars. Yeah, Hesero, the updated version of Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Steam has controller support. Widescreen resolution support. The broken movies have been fixed. And controller support, fully integrated. How cool is that? Bumpers for the menus, everything. Camera control. It's fantastic. But look at where we are. What I was thinking about was watching Empire and Jedi last night. It was during one of the space battles when he yells, "Eject! Eject!" What the hell do? You can't eject from a Y-wing or an X-wing in the middle of space. They've got no respirators. They've got no suits on. They've got no helmets. What would you do if you ejected in the middle of a space battle? 30 years, it never occurred to me how silly that line was. Eject! Eject! It's like, just don't eject. Please, don't eject.
This is the starboard side of the Ebon Hawk. Don't forget to explore the other side. This is the bubbles ahead indicate mines that you've detected automatically with your awareness skill. Some mines require higher awareness to detect. Approach mines carefully. They will blow up and damage you if you get too close. You can use your demolition skill to either disable or recover these mines. Recovering mines requires a higher demolition skill than disabling them, but you get to keep the mine, which you can then use to set as a trap for enemies or break down into components at a workbench. Workshop now. It's in there. They integrated the mod with Steamworks. It's fantastic. So you can just, if you go to the Steamworks page for Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Steam, you'll see it. And there's different versions for different languages. Make sure you get the right language. It's separately localized for each of the languages. So we can disarm it or try to recover it. Minor frag mine, recover mine, disable mine. We should be able to recover them. You get experience for disabling, and I think you get more for recovering proton missile. You can recover a frag mine and some parts. You can use the explosive device in this missile to blow open the engine room door inside the Ebon Hawk. This will give you access to the hyperdrive. After you plant a mine, back away quickly so that you do not take damage.
I'd almost suggest rebuying it, Antonok. I have a few copies of this game. When they re-released it as a 2-pack on disc a few years ago, I grabbed that. But I am happily running the Steam version now. Besides, it's worth supporting this game even at this point. Remind Obsidian and BioWare that there's a market for these single-player games. And that what we really want is Knights of the Old Republic 3.
This open hatch has some parts that will be useful for getting main power restored. This busted engine port has some needed parts for the Ebon Hawk's hyperdrive. Take the parts here back down below to get main power restored.
So I think we're good. I guess there might be a little bit more, but exposed wiring.
These exposed wires control the door to the starboard dormitory. The door is currently sealed,
Oh.
but you can override it from here.
But I didn't leave. Override the door with one part. To the dormitory.
Success. The door is opened. You can now access the starboard dormitory through the garage.
Afraid I can't do that, Steve. By the way, if anybody, I meant to ask him how much he was okay with me sharing. I'm gonna take a small liberty here. If anybody notices Steve's absence, You may notice Steve's absence here. I hope we'll see Steve, but there is a good chance we won't see a whole lot of Steve for a while. He's spent a lot of time here on Twitch, and it has kind of taken things over. I know it's happened for many of us, and it's happened with Steve too. A lot of time goes into Twitch. It becomes a big part of our lives. And he's got a lot of stuff in his life he needs to focus on right now. He's going to be moving from one country to another this year. He's got a language to learn, relearn, and so he's going to be very busy, and he needs some space from Twitch. So you may not see Steve around as much, but it's for a good reason. So cheers, Steve. Cheers to you. We toast you in your absence, and we hope to see you again soon. Rage Mage! Hey, thank you for the host, Rage Mage. Welcome. Everybody who's hosting here this morning, thank you all, and the rest, you should check them all out. A lot of good streamers here on Twitch. He's moving to Germany. He's moving to Germany. So he will be closer to some of you. So notice the lower, oh, you can't see it actually, I'm blocking it. I'm gonna stay on the left side of the screen here because I'm used to it, but obviously I'm blocking some stuff. Landmines can be selected here. If you have different types of mines, you can select them from here. When we have a party, we're gonna be able to select the disposition for the character that is not being controlled. What was it on? Aggressive, range, stationary, I don't know. Aggressive. I don't usually use those too much. Engine room, what did we open up? We opened up a door to the dormitories. Characters using the aggressive behavior will attack any enemies they see regardless of their distance from the character you are controlling. They will use whatever weapon they have equipped. Aggressive behavior, pursue foes if needed. Oh, how do I get off of that bar? There we go.
Protocols prevent you from opening it manually. Try using the security computer in the main hold.
So we can blow open the engine room door. May as well blow open the door now. It's not like we insta-repair. Left-clicking the mouse or controller. When a mine is selected on your action menu, will place a mine. Go off automatically? Yes. A dose of Buckley. Streamed what? Knights of the Old Republic?
This is the engine room.
I bet there'll be a lot of this on Twitch this week. Port engine. Starboard engine. Hyperdrive.
The starboard engine is badly damaged. Fixing it won't be possible until after docking with the Paragus mining station. The port engine is shut down, but appears intact. Fixing the hyperdrive will allow you to restore power to the port engine and bring primary power online. The hyperdrive is suffering badly. You won't be able to make the jump to light speed until it is fully repaired, and you do not have the needed equipment here on the Ebon Hawk. However, you should be able to rig the hyperdrive to restore primary power and bring the port engine online. This will allow you to dock with the Paragus mining station for full repairs.
So before I rig the hyperdrive, let's go around the rest of the ship. What I don't remember is whether rigging the hyperdrive automatically moves us into the next stage cutscene and story progression. I want to find the dormitory that we opened up, if possible.
While some doors can be bashed open or cut open with a lightsaber or cutting tool, some doors require the use of the security skill to open.
There we are. Now,
Security skill from the action bar to open this door.
damn it, Kaz! Sorry, wrong game.
The medical room.
And there is our character.
You are in critical condition. You will need a med pack to be stabilized.
And I don't have one, so we'll see about coming back. Unless, is there a med pack in the crate?
Medical room.
Med pack, 3 med packs. Now, one of the cool things about a D20 game, if you fail a roll, say a security roll, you can do it again. You can just keep rolling until you roll a 20. So in most cases, if you have the time...
Found med packs. You can use one to stabilize the condition of the human lying on the bed.
Who? My character? Yes, has a J name. I went through the random name selections until one with a J popped up. Not only that, S7, but the J name that popped up is a very particular one from the extended universe, which is kind of cool.
The med pack can stabilize your condition.
See? Jason Taban. That's us. Treat injury. Use the med pack.
You are stabilized. To recover fully, you will require the medical facilities at the Paragus mining station. But you are not in any danger of dying from your wounds right now.
This is all prologue. This is tutorial and prologue. And we'll be out of here soon. It's good though. I haven't played this in years, so I needed this.
This is the main hold.
Now, who do we have here? Only one of the coolest characters in the Star Wars universe, lying here right in front of T3. And what does she have? A locker key.
Appears to be dead. There is a key card on the body that looks like it opens a locker somewhere.
I shit you not. This woman's body right here. This is one of the coolest characters in the Star Wars universe. And if you don't know her already, you're going to get to know her this week.
This blast door is magnetically sealed and cannot be opened. You can hear a banging noise coming from the other side of the door to the storage compartment. The door is sealed shut and cannot be opened from the outside.
Wonder who's in there.
This blast door is magnetically sealed and cannot be opened. This is the main hold.
No.
This is the main hold.
This is the main hold. What was the locker? I can't remember. Where's the locker? Was the key to... Oh, was it the key to this locker right here? The one I bashed open. That was... I think that's what her key was. What was the other item? I don't imagine that it matters much, but... Computer, slice the system. 2 spikes. Ebonhawk security console. System alert. Condition critical. Cascade failure imminent. You have sliced into the security system for the port aft station of the ship, which includes the engine room, utility lift, and the garage. Access security cameras. So you can, at a number of points in the game, look at live feed security cameras from different places. Inner garage camera, engine room camera, utility lift camera, security doors. Open the inner garage door. Maybe we have to close the outer garage door first. I think that's the breach. Did I do that wrong? Open the inner garage door. We have both? No, so one or the other. We'll roll with that for the moment. I can't remember what we need to get that right. Dr. P, what's happening? It was good to see you the other night. Good to see you again. How are you doing, Dr. P? Outer garage door.
This is the engine room.
I don't remember what the deal is, but there's you know, you gotta be in one spot. How do you work the security door when you're not there? I don't recall. I'm sure someone will tell me, Jay, you're supposed to do this, and then you get through the garage door. But I think we're gonna move on. I can't remember what's in the garage now.
Safety protocol.
It's the prologue. You can skip this whole prologue with little impact on the game. We've already stabilized Jason, seen a certain character's body, so I think we can proceed.
The hyperdrive is suffering badly. You won't be able to make the jump to light speed until it is fully repaired, and you do not have the needed equipment here on the... However,
Rig the hyperdrive.
success. The hyperdrive is online. Primary power is restored. Only one step remains. Return to the galaxy map in the cockpit and travel to Paragus.
Perfect, Dr. P. About to get some food and enjoy some Knights of the Old Republic.
The port engine is powered up. You can now use the galaxy map to travel to August mining station. This is the main hold. This is the cockpit. You can now plot a course to the Paragus mining station. To dock with Paragus,
Seriously, Pierce.
left-click
The
on
Proto-ED.
planet,
Proto-ED.
and then
Yes.
left-click on the travel button.
I like that voice too. Whole lot. Alright, yeah, here's our galaxy map. Paragus 2, climate none, terrain asteroid, docking Paragus mining station. Hasero, you're taking off. It was great to meet you too. You take care. Have a good one, and I hope to see you later. We're gonna be doing this all week. Star Wars hype! Yeah, have a good one. We'll see you later.
The sensors show the door to the storage compartment is being sliced. There is someone, or something, else alive on the Ebon Hawk.
Hype, what's up? It's been a while. How you doing? Hype! Yes, we're gonna be calling your name all week long. Oh no! What has happened? We're not where we were a minute ago. Awaken. Good to see you, meatbag. Exactly. Although, that was an HK, that wasn't actually... That wasn't the HK-47. Jason Taban's Kolto tank. And who are these others? Immersion in Kolto tanks can heal most wounds. If you have lost vitality points during your explorations, return here to the medical bay and use the empty Kolto tank behind you to heal your wounds. And at the moment, we've got nothing. Real quick inventory check. Where are we here? Inventory. There's our inventory. We've got nothing. No weapons, no armor, no tools. Oh, hell yeah. Unavailable, try again. Good to see you. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I think I like this better than the first one. As much as I love Knights of the Old Republic, this one is dark and moody, and the story is not so simple. Knights of the Old Republic 1 is a classic Star Wars tale, start to finish. This is a very elaborate and layered Star Wars tale that explores the gray areas of the Force. Nothing so simple as we got in the first one. And it turns a lot of people off, but it shouldn't. And with the restored content mod, this game is more complete than it was at the time it was released. And a lot of people who played it, part of why they were turned off was because you could just feel that there was stuff missing. There was clearly stuff missing from the game, and now that most of it has been put back, it works so much better. So I have one security point. It says impossible. Not failed, impossible. So I could try this a million times and it's not gonna work. But if I had enough security and still failed the roll, you could re-roll. You could re-roll until you got it. unless it's a lock that breaks or something to that effect. Medical bay container, more med packs. Got a lab station. We'll eventually be able to craft things, learn about creating items, breaking down items. Use the lab station now. Let's do a little of this just so you can see it if you're not familiar with it. A character can create certain items at a lab station using chemicals. They can be found, purchased, or obtained by breaking down other items. Treat injury and demolitions play a role in item creation at a lab station. We do it, we'll cover the process. Learn about breaking down items. You can break down items to acquire chemicals, which can then be used to create other different items. Use it to recycle items you don't want or need. We'll be able to make things if we want, like med packs, antidote kits. There are a lot of stims in this game. There is a ton of stims. I don't usually use a lot of, if I remember right, a lot of them. I'll use med packs, antidote kits, and maybe a couple combat boosts. But if you want to, you can do a whole lot with stimulants. You make mines, different types of grenades, weapon mods on other workbenches. There's many, many things you can do. This is a great role-playing game. Knights of the Old Republic, both are fantastic role-playing games. Huh. Yeah, a little bit. It is. I mean, I know what you're getting at, TYB. In some ways, this was worse. Knights of the Old Republic 2 was rushed out, arguably under pressure from LucasArts, or Lucasfilm, in time for a holiday season, less than 2 years after the first one was released. Access medical logs.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the KotOR tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to make it inside the Paragus asteroid field without the asteroid drift charts. Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to...
Record ends in static, it said. Protocol droid, utility droid, and only one survivor. Obviously, we are that survivor, but is that true? Was there only one survivor?
Could be a Jedi, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission back from the Republic. If the survivor is a Jedi, that would account for the recovery rate. But I'm more concerned that a Jedi here may cause trouble. Some of the miners, especially KotOR, are already another accident today. A detonation in the ventilation tunnels. If the lockdown measures hadn't activated, the whole facility would have been destroyed. Got most of the injured to the KotOR tanks in time, but the rest had to go to the morgue. One of the wounded said a droid caused the accident, but we couldn't get any specifics.
So something's going wrong on the mining station already, since the Ebon Hawk has docked.
Miners about the Jedi. A number of the droids have been acting oddly, and not even memory wipes seem to be fixing the problem. There was a detonation in another one of the fuel vents the droids were working in. We deactivated several of them and moved them down to maintenance, but we're still treating the plasma burns. That cuts us down to almost half shifts, and with the droids malfunctioning, we may not make the Telos shipment for this month. Fortunately, the detonation didn't cause a lockdown.
Warning, there has been a fuel detonation in the mining tunnels.
She spoke too soon.
Lockdown commencing. All personnel report to quarters and prepare for emergency venting countermeasures.
No! If the ventilation systems are malfunctioning, evacuate the medical bay. Everyone evacuate.
Was there actually, hold on, access, there was something here, main console, options, patient life signs, KotOR tank 1, deceased, 2, deceased, 3, recovered, 4, deceased, 5, deceased. Access patient treatment. All subjects being treated for severe plasma burns. Last treatment request resulted in death for all subjects except patient 3 who was reduced to minimal life signs. Last treatment request killed everyone? How does that work? Treat injury. Check the last treatment request. A lethal dose of sedatives was administered to all the tanks, including number 3. There is no record of who ordered the treatment. Attempt to track the treatment request. 1 computer spike. I don't have a computer spike. Not enough spikes to perform the slice. Access medical bay functions. Camera, morgue camera. Recognize someone in the morgue. That went away on its own very fast. Take another look at the morgue. See if you recognize anyone in the morgue. Oh, I hit the wrong option. We opened the morgue. Okay, we'll take a look real quick. Morgue camera. See anything familiar? So we've unlocked the medical storage room, right? And the morgue. You never found a red... Are you serious, Dr. P? I could have sworn the red ones were some of the most common. You never found a red crystal? I'm surprised. Or is it just in the first game where the red crystals are so common? Many med-based items are based on chemicals and may be useful to, it either said explore or craft or learn. The bottom line is... Plasma torch. I should have looked at the body first, because she ain't just a corpse.
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead. Yes, I had hoped as much. I slept here too long and could not awaken. It may be I reached out unconsciously, and your mind must have been a willing one. Or perhaps you have been trained for such things.
Perhaps. I forgot, we have an unvoiced character. Our character is unvoiced, so I will read at least some of the dialogue options before choosing them. I have to get that in my head. I'm going to be doing that here. And I may read the ones that I choose, or I may read all of them and then choose one. Just stay out of my mind in the future. Now, what do you want? So we're going to get light side and dark side points based on conversation choices. But it won't always be clear. So as BioWare, and this is an Obsidian game, but as BioWare developed their style of role-playing games, as many of you know, it became more and more obvious as they went on what sort of choices you were going to be making. Sometimes the dialogue options that you would choose don't reflect what your character ends up saying, but it would be pretty apparent whether you were making a good or a bad decision, a nice or a not so nice decision. At this point where you have an unvoiced character, it's pretty safe to assume that the dialogue options we're choosing are the specific dialogue lines that your character is meant to be saying. Yes, Kreia is one of the best characters in the Star Wars universe, and she is from this game. She is not from somewhere else. She is from this game. She's one of the best. Just stay out of my mind in the future. Now, what do you want? Slept too long? You looked dead when I came in. So you can touch minds and feign death. Who are you?
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened?
Last thing I remember, I was on board a Republic ship, the Harbinger. What happened to it? We ask the questions! Because I'm the one asking questions, how did I get here? No, let's, last thing I remember, I was on board a Republic ship, the Harbinger. What happened to it?
Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor. A result of your Jedi training, no doubt.
If you think I'm a Jedi, you're mistaken. How do you know I was a Jedi? I am no longer a member of the Jedi Order.
Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down.
Let's deal with the now. What is this place? That is no business of yours. The Jedi Order and I have a troubled history. Let's deal with the now. What is this place?
I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek.
The ship we arrived in, the Ebon Hawk,
Must still be in this place. We should recover it and leave.
Dieter, hello. Did I say that right? How are you? Why do we need to leave? Care to explain why you're in such a hurry? We? Why do you think we are together in this? About why do we need to leave?
We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport, weapons, and information, they will find us easy prey indeed.
And this is how, I guess I'm not entirely... I know I'm blocking the dialogue, but you'll see in cases where there's a persuasion option in the dialogue, you'll at least see the tag in brackets. Persuasion option. Are you sure there's nothing else you can tell me about this place? We'll see. There's got to be someone left alive around here. I'll go look for the ship. And some weapons. Is there anything else I should keep an eye out for? Well, if we get a persuasion attempt, we're gonna take it. Are you sure there's nothing else you can tell me about this place?
Even as I slept, I felt much unrest here. I saw strange visions, minds colored with fear. Now, everything here feels terribly silent. A last word of caution. I would find out as much as you can about this place quickly. I fear we will need to depart as suddenly as we arrived.
Is there anything else I should keep an eye out for?
You may wish to extend your search to some clothes, if only for proper first impressions.
Clothes are overrated. I think that's one of the options. See, there is somewhere here it says clothes are overrated. Persuade/intimidate. The miners in the medbay were murdered. Know why? Or a pure persuasion. The patients in the medbay were killed by a lethal dose of sedatives. Any idea how it happened?
I do not know. Why did they spare you?
Why indeed? Maybe they didn't.
Indeed, a Jedi trance could protect one from such poisons. In fact, the sedatives may have been intended to keep you unconscious for some time. It would prove lethal to those untrained in such techniques, however. Most curious.
Most curious indeed. You seem to know a lot about Jedi techniques.
And so do you. Perhaps we could discuss it at length later on. Now we have other concerns, among them finding our new enemy.
Just stay out of my way or you'll end up like these corpses. I'll return soon to make sure you're all right. Maybe when I return you'll actually answer my question.
I have found that answers come in their own time, not ours. Turn your energy to the matter at hand. If we cannot find a way out of here, the answers will prove useless anyway. I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to center myself.
Light side points gained. Journal entry added. You have taken your first steps on the path to the light side. Heroic acts and charitable responses to others will elevate you further, bringing you more in touch with the light side of the Force and its higher mysteries. Cruel or selfish actions will reverse this, causing you to fall to the dark side. You put this so sweetly. What do you all think about moving the camera to the other side? Should I move around? Should I flip around to this side? Would that be better? I'm still going to be blocking dialogue, but not you'll see the choices, and I'll be cutting off the end of the statements instead of the start of the statements. So yeah, I can flip sides like this. I have to add the voice to text. Something like that. Is this better? Would this work better? Maybe we put this over here? I don't know. I don't know what makes the most sense here. But please let me know if you think this is better. So we can have a layout like this Or we can have a layout like this. Maybe this makes more sense. Shift your ass, Jay. What's up, Wombat? Alright, we'll try it like that.
Yes? What have you found?
Nothing. I haven't gone anywhere yet. Nothing yet. I'll return later. So what you won't see... Crispy Critters, how you doing? Oh, my chair's blocking it too. What you won't see is the pause state. You won't necessarily... I think you're going to see my health bar most of the time where I'm sitting. I might block it off a bit, but... Good job on the character creation. Well, the appearance is... Can't do too much. Were you watching? Did you like the stats? Do you think the stats are good? Let's go ahead and get in the habit of saving here, too. There are autosaves, but the game will actually remind you to save frequently and in different slots. You'll see it on some of the loading screens. Not only to save frequently, but to save in different slots. The game knows you might make decisions that you want to reverse. Any door that can be bashed open can be cut through more easily with a lightsaber or construction tool such as a plasma torch. To bash open this door, equip a plasma torch on the equip screen, then select bash. So I don't have the security. As they pointed out, we won't be able to open this.
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbo lifts have been sealed to...
Inventory, plasma torch. Cannot equip items from the inventory screen. Switch to the equip screen. Where was that? Equip screen. Which is which? Left arm, right arm. You have no items that can be equipped in this slot. Oh, that's not my weapon slot. So here is our equipment screen. You can put on headgear. You have an implant slot. You have a hand slot. And then you also have arm slots, one for each arm. Chest piece. You have a belt. And then you have a primary and a secondary weapon. So you basically have 2 weapon sets. And one for each hand. So we're going to, and you can see some of our penalties here. Right now, unarmed, I have 1 to 4 damage and a +1 to hit with my right hand. We're going to equip the plasma torch. Hey, Floridon, how you doing? Yes, we're restored content mod all the way. Once you've gone restored content mod, you can't go back.
Emergency lockdown overridden.
And they have controller support now. If you install the Steam version of Sith Lords, it has controller support and widescreen resolution support now. It's awesome. Normally a mining tool, a vibro cutter doubles as an effective melee weapon. Melee weapons give an attacker a large bonus to attack against enemies using ranged weapons. Equip the vibro cutter in your other weapon slot, then switch between it and the plasma torch when you need to cut open a container or door. He shouldn't use a plasma torch in his underwear. Damn straight. That's not the wisest thing. I'm actually going to put the vibro cutter in my primary slot. We'll put the plasma torch in the secondary slot. So you can't free swing your weapon. Everything's roll-based, turn-based. And I have not done this with controller support yet. I'm a little fuzzy on how combat is going to play out. Switching weapon slots. Let me see. How can I even do that with the buttons? Well, they have a quick... Look at that. Look at that menu. We've got a quick save button. Oh, hell yeah. And we can switch weapons here. That'll probably be the easiest way for me to switch weapons. We've got this bar here. I bet they took that from the mobile version of KotOR 1. Since they've released KotOR 1 on mobile devices, I bet some of the interface changes. Unless it's from the Xbox. Safety first. Safety first. Damaged mining droid. First combat of the game. The game pauses when you sight an enemy, and the selection reticle will show up in red. You can use the mouse to select other hostile targets. This auto-pause option can be disabled on the option menu. So the game is paused, and you can go ahead and switch targets. You can switch between eligible targets. You can change, let me see how I navigate this. You can change your attack, and you can queue up different attacks. I was mentioning that my favorite attack is a flurry attack. I'm not going to start using flurry right away, because flurry, you suffer a defense penalty. So until I have some defenses and a better attack. Flurry is not going to be as useful to me as it will eventually be. Power attack might be more useful, or a standard attack with no particular penalties. So let's see. Whenever you spot an enemy, left click the enemy. Once to enter combat mode, it will lock the camera on your target, and then you can begin the default attack. And the default attack will continue unless you do something else. You will keep attacking with your default attack. Your chances of hitting a target are controlled by your statistics and behind-the-scenes combat rolls. It's a D20 game. Combat is not affected by your aim, your character's movements, or the movements of your target. So if you look at the bottom, we've got a... Can I point at this stuff? How can I point it? There you go. Hey, you can kind of point at this stuff. This stuff! We've got a bit of a combat queue here. So let's say I wanted to take a look at the queue. I've added a critical strike to the queue after a regular attack. And I could even queue up a little more. I can queue up... So now I've got a regular attack, followed by a critical attack, followed by a power attack. And there you go. So you can see the queue cleared when the enemy was down. Switch targets. Power attack. Standard attack. Standard attack. Go! Victory! And we got a mining laser. So now I have optionally a ranged weapon. You don't have to pause. You can fight in quasi-real time. Long. It's very long. 50 hours. Approximately. Very long game. It's a proper role-playing game. You'll try not to look at the chat. You know nothing of the game. You'll try not... Why? Do you mean for spoilers? I don't know. You might want to hang out and read chat. It's an elaborate game. It's a very elaborate game. A lot to talk about. We're going to be talking Star Wars all week. By the way, this is the intro to the game, and I'll be talking a lot about it. But as the week goes on, this is Star Wars week, and I want to hear about what Star Wars means to everyone. I don't just want to talk about Knights of the Old Republic this week. It's a big deal. This is a huge deal for me. This is the first Star Wars movie with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford in over 30 years. 30 years! We haven't seen them. There's no great reveal in this game. Oh, if you're talking about, yeah, RZD not needing any major spoilers, exactly. The first Knights of the Old Republic has a huge plot twist, and it's a huge spoiler. This game is more about the gray area of the Force.
This is the exit, but it is sealed. Strange. In my visions, it was open.
Kreia? There is only silence. Try to find some way to open the hatch. It is odd that this emergency hatch hasn't opened, considering the circumstances. There may be a way to open it if you could get to an access terminal. Yes, writing by letters, it was BioWare who did the first and Obsidian who did the second. I may refer to this as a BioWare game a number of times, but as you've pointed out, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Writing by letters, you said so. Unfortunately, they didn't have the same writing team. That's not necessarily unfortunate. Obsidian does fantastic writing. Fantastic writing. And the unfinished state of this game arguably has less to do with Obsidian than Lucasfilm and pressure. You say long for 50 hours, you say average at best. Well, I don't know. I think 50 hours is a pretty long game. I might have spent 200 in The Witcher and 100 on my first play of Phantom Pain, but I still think 50 hours is a pretty long game. Security tunneler. Of course, we can bash these doors. I only have 1 point in security, but it was still enough. Chemicals, components, ion grenades. Fallout New Vegas, also made by Obsidian. Yep. No, Obsidian is a fantastic game company. They really are. Obsidian's excellent. I don't think this going from BioWare to Obsidian is a bad thing at all. In fact, Obsidian would love to do a Knights of the Old Republic 3. They've mentioned it before. Floridon, did you see that Obsidian recently revealed that they are making a System Shock 3? No, I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw anything about that. Check security records. Baragas safety, hollow orientation.
Is this thing on? All right, all hands, especially you, KotOR. Listen up, because I'm not going to say this again. The next one of you
gotcha.
heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is going to take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragas 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out.
Okay. I wonder, I could, I'm just looking at the framing here since I moved to the other side. Is that the camera? We can move it a little bit further. Maybe a little bit further. Something like that. Stick of Truth was hilarious and gross. Yes. Yes, so RZD asks, in this game, you can be a godly Jedi or an extremely hateful Sith, kind of like a karma-based game. Yes, but that is more true of the first Knights of the Old Republic. In the first game, you can very much go light side or dark side. You can become a light side Jedi or a dark side Sith. In this game, you also can, and there's the same light side, dark side bar. But in this second Knights of the Old Republic game, there is an emphasis on how imperfect that solution is. That it really isn't so simple as being light or dark, but that there is a lot of gray. It's one of the underlying themes in this game, is the gray area between the light side and the dark side of the Force. It's going to be explored time and time again. So yes, RZD, you can be a godly Jedi or a hateful Sith, but the game is going to scold you either way for thinking it's so simple as that. Very interesting.
According to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The three idiots were grouped so close to the charge, it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just KotOR and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility is going to be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives.
So yes, unavailable. Try again says, from my understanding, there was meant to be a third KotOR, and that's why this game seems unfinished. There almost certainly were concepts for a third game, and some of the end of this game would have fed into that. Seems pretty much done now, though. Maybe they'll come back around. Maybe they'll reboot the series, as you said. Fingers crossed. I don't know if rebooting is the way to go, but I don't know what they've done in the expansion for the Old Republic MMO. I know they went to the Revan story again, so they might have tried to close off that plot line, or maybe it's still open-ended. I don't know if there's room now for Knights of the Old Republic 3 to really revisit Revan. Floridon, you asked if ME2 playthrough is complete. Yes, finished it on time. Had an awesome ending. wiped out the Baby Reaper, got drunk and passed out on the Citadel, fed fish to the Krogan, got a lap dance from Kelly Chambers. It was a beautiful end. It was a beautiful end. Unfortunately, the VOD up on YouTube has serious out-of-sync issues. If you watch the past broadcast on Twitch, that is not an issue. I think I am going to stop uploading my full broadcast to YouTube until I can get that resolved. It didn't used to be an issue when I could export the full broadcast from Twitch, but those large exports have been failing. The highlights are still good. I'll get all the highlights up on Twitch. I'll try and do more highlights. Lamia and I were going to talk about maybe getting Lamia involved in some VOD editing, because I don't always have time to do that. But one possible solution is to chop up the VODs, use Twitch to make 1 or 2 hour highlights. So an 8-hour stream would end up in at least 4 chunks as highlights, and then export those separately to YouTube, and it should avoid the out-of-sync issue. But I might actually temporarily stop uploading the full videos. So you may have to check out past broadcasts on Twitch until I get that sorted. Celador, welcome, how are you? Mining droid maintenance logs.
You're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I could just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot.
Security storage room inventory.
Secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, they shouldn't detect me. If any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the override switch I set up in the communications blister console. I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. Maybe even turn them against whoever's sabotaging them.
Return to the main console functions. Access remote camera controls. We've got, there's the security office, where we are. Security storage room. 3 droids in there. That would be a little nasty. That's the, security storage room. The comm blister. The holding cells. Look, there's someone in the holding cells. Emergency hatch to the mining tunnels. That's the door we couldn't open. That's our eventual way out. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives.
Freya? What?
Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions. You can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive.
Chills.
But the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards.
With Krea's help, you have gained the passive precognition power. When this power is triggered, you should save your game. Which I did. Yeah, we'll find some real clothes. They're just, we haven't found them yet. There was no opportunity yet to get real close. We've been looting everything. It's coming up. It's coming up. Ow. We do have a couple, what do we have here? An ion grenade. I was trying to say ion blaster. No, we have an ion grenade. Let's see just how well that works.
Ah, you hear it. It is fate, but it is there.
I feel strange, like the sedatives are wearing off.
It is the Force you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget.
But it doesn't feel like it did. It feels like it is coming from across a great distance. It's like a sound, but it has been almost a decade. I had forgotten. Almost a decade. I don't want this. Not again. Never again. It's like a sound, but
Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come. I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive and escape this place.
gaining experience will slowly reestablish your connection to the Force. Go to the level up screen to choose your Force abilities. Hopefully. We did meet her, though. We did already meet her, so there is that. Level up. We don't want to do auto level up. We want to do manual level up. You have been granted the following feats at this level: Force Sensitive and Unarmed Specialist. You don't always get to add feats. Again, D20 game follows a lot of the classic rule sets, so you get feats. Depending on your class, you get feats at different levels, but not every level. You always get skills. Depending on your intelligence, you get more skill points, and I did not put a lot into intelligence. I won't be getting a lot of skill points. I'll be wanting to max persuasion whenever possible. Treat injury will become less important once we have force healing. But right now, it determines the healing we get from med kits, and we'll need it. All my other skills being bottomed out, mostly bottomed out, I suppose I could spend my 2 points to bring demolitions up to 1, and then at least we have the option of trying to disarm something. Eventually, we'll have party members who do that job. We'll have party members with awareness, and party members who can do demolitions, and party members who can, repair and security. But there are some plot-related things that, in some cases, your party members have to do, and in some cases, you have to do. And if you don't have the skills for them, you won't be doing them. We've got a base of everything. Persuasion maxed, a base for everything, and we'll go from there. Powers, we get 1 more power, or we get our first power. So let's talk powers for a minute. Healing, we can't get heal till level 6. Obviously, we're going to want heal, and improved heal, and master heal. I think that's a given for everybody. Is there anyone who doesn't rank up heal all the way when they play this? Burst of speed. Rank 2 is Night Speed. Rank 3 is Master Speed. Do you remember what I was saying earlier about 2-weapon fighting? 2-weapon fighting, you get an extra attack because of your second weapon, or with double-bladed because of your second blade, you get an extra attack. Flurry at the top rank grants an extra attack. And then look at what Master Speed does. 2 attacks per round are gained. Now, picture those things being stacked. I think some of this might have eventually been patched. For years it went unpatched. But Flurry plus dual weapons, or double-bladed, plus Master Speed, and you will attack about 8 times per round. I think it's about 8 times per round when it's all maxed out. By mid-game or late game, when you see that in action, it's astounding. You'll swing your blade and you'll just see all these numbers fly by and things will drop. It's what a Jedi should be, if you ask me. At its first rank, though, Burst of Speed lets you run, physically move faster across the battlefield. For the duration of this effect, 36 seconds, movement speed is doubled and 2 defense is gained. Pierce is saying mind trick. Mind Trick. We'll take a look. I think Mind Trick is it a neutral or is it a dark side power? There are light and dark side powers here. You can see Stun is a light side power, but Wound and Slow are dark side powers, as is Fear and Shock. Force Push, universal power. Force Push. An opponent targeted by this power is pushed back 5 meters, thrown to the ground stunned for 3 seconds, and suffers damage equal to the attacking character's level. A reflex save by the target at a difficulty check of 5, plus the attacking character's level, plus the attacking character's wisdom and charisma modifiers. It's a D20 game, means the target is not stunned, but still suffers damage equal to half the Jedi's level. So underlying the combat is a lot of number crunching, turn-based number crunching. Mind Trick is a universal power. It's a universal power. Distracts a non-droid target, making it easier to sneak by them. I've never gone through the game using Mind Trick. Mind Trick. I'll have to think about that. Force Scream, dark side power. Drain Force, dark side power. Throw Lightsaber. I do like that one. Universal power. There's only 2 ranks of it. But yes, you can throw your saber and have it return to your hand. Throw saber is a lot of fun. Universal power. Force Suppression. Drain Life. Dark side power. Push. Universal. Shock. Dark side. Fear. Dark side. Slow. Dark side. Wound. Dark side. Yeah, it is. I've got, I have the old West End Games handbook and some of the, and a few different, a few different adventure books as well. But back when it was West End Games, I don't think they're handling it anymore. But many years ago, late 80s, West End Games was doing the role-playing games. Stun is light side. Force Deflection. Affect Mind is universal. Revitalize. Kind of that's a res, basically a res. Force Body, universal power. Battle Meditation. Self buff, or is it for the party? It's all party members, not a self buff. Battle Meditation affects the whole party. Force Barrier. Force Resistance, universal. Anyways, I'm getting a little caught up here. I want speed. Burst of speed. Burst of speed. There we go. Jason Taban, Jedi Sentinel, level 2, and now we have a burst of speed. So, just to show you. So now we go very fast and everything blurs. But we go much faster. And eventually that will add to combat. At least it's not blurry when you're standing still. The blur when you're moving is pretty frustrating. Can we... I wonder if I can eliminate that. Motion blur. There is a hard difficulty setting. I'm leaving it on normal. This game has so much story and dialogue that I don't think making the combat rounds take longer is going to improve anything. Force speed effects. Let's try turning those off. And I think we're still under the burst of speed. Yeah, so now we're not going to get that irritating motion blur. You feel like you're already drunk. Well, I'm turning that off because I think it would make me a little ill in the long run. I'm going to be using it a lot, so I turn that blur off. Here's what that guy in the holo was talking about, the stealth field generator. If you put that in your belt slot and you have at least 1 point in stealth, you can go into stealth mode. Go ahead and equip that. Show you what that works like. So, belt slot, stealth field generator. Now what buttons do I have on the controller for this? Is it here? Stealth, yeah, stealth. So there we go, stealth mode. You move much more slowly, but you can sneak by things if you don't go too close. And of course, your skill can be improved if that's a thing you want to do a lot of. Components, chemicals, ion grenade. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I may have some clients to see on Monday, but, yeah, it might have to be later on Monday, but I am down. I'm down. In fact, let me put it on the schedule here. Monday the 21st. We're gonna talk VODs. I got it down, Lamia. I've got it down. This is weird. Hold on. No, I should have found clothes already. Where the hell were the clothes? No, I take it back. Take it back. We are not to have found clothes already. It's been years. I haven't played this game in, I think, 3 years. I've played it with the 1.8 version of this mod once, and that mod came out in 2012, so I think that's the last time I played this game. So they're mostly missing me. I don't know if that's because I have a high dexterity. It is probably because I have a high dexterity. I haven't lost any health yet in this fight. I'm sure I'll get hit at some point. But they are just missing me. Somebody finally scratched the surface. Is that it? No, I think there's one more down here. You don't need to queue up multiple default attacks like I just did. I was just, I don't know, button spamming. Habitual button spamming. Emergency supplies, medpack. What else is on my hotbar? Let me see. Solo party, change the leader, stealth, quick save, free look, switch weapons. All right. But if I actually want to use a med pack, I have to cycle through this menu down here using the controller. With the cursor, you could just smack it. Mouse cursor, you could just smack the button. But obviously, with the controller, you have to navigate through the menus. Still getting the hang of that. Never played this with a controller. So glad they added controller support, though. The closed captioning is hilarious. Yes, I agree.
Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. His thoughts are difficult to read. But you have nothing to fear from this one, and he might yet prove useful.
Although not an emergency blast door, this door has been magnetically sealed. There must be an override console somewhere. That's the, yeah, the menu's great. Just double down on force speed. It does not stack. Paragus Communications Control Emergency Lockdown. Enter code to cancel lockdown. Look for the control override switch. You have found the security officer's override switch. Do you wish to activate it?
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniform while I've been in here?
Hard ass. You got a name or just a big mouth?
Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns.
This facility's deserted. What happened?
I mean, before or after that Jedi showed up. Either way, it's a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting.
Then there was some big explosion, and then I was sitting here for a long time, waiting for some half-naked miner to show up and ask a bunch of questions.
There's a bounty on captured Jedi? Why?
Don't know much about it. Maybe the exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to collect. Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high.
Not many Jedi left? What happened to them?
The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows?
The stories I heard were of the Sith, not the Jedi. Was it caused by the Mandalorian Wars?
Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been?
A lot of options. I've heard a few rumors, but little else in my travels. I've been away since the Mandalorian Wars. Just tell me what happened next. What happened between Revan and Malak? I couldn't care less about Revan's fate. I had other questions for you. No, we must dig. What happened between Revan and Malak?
Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course.
The rumors I heard said Revan defeated Malak, then went to Korriban to unite the Sith against the Republic. I was led to believe that Revan saved the Jedi and the Republic. And that's what I recall. I was led to believe that Revan saved the Jedi and the Republic.
I guess. There's rumors all over space about it. All I heard was Revan returned to pay Malak back for trying to kill her in the first place. You know, women.
Notice how that's the default dialogue. I said I like to play a female character in the first game. Well, that's the default dialogue. And if you want the story to correctly address, if you had a male character in the first game and you want the story to address that, you have to pick this dialogue option. How long have you been in that cage? Revan was a man, not a woman. But notice how the default was woman. The default dialogue was referring to Revan as a woman. Keep that in mind. I think that's that's actually the canon. If you're looking for the canon, I think Revan is a woman. How interesting is that? I had heard Revan's redemption involved her stopping Malak, and she had no choice but to fight him.
Well, I wasn't there, thankfully. But I heard what she was like during the Mandalorian Wars, and it sounded like she was quick to wipe out anyone who crossed her.
The males are bad enough, but when a woman falls to the dark side, you better space yourself before they catch you.
When a woman falls to the dark side, you better space yourself. What's up, Densa? How you doing? I had some more questions for you.
No offense or anything, but your weird half-naked interrogation isn't my idea. Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners were talking about. Where is everybody?
Stop playing dumb. You must have seen what took place. Well, he's been locked in a cage. Not necessarily. Still, though. Any chance to give Atten some shit?
From my beautiful view in this security cage? Look, I heard some explosions, some emergency alarms, some toxic gas pouring out of the vents. Maybe none of them survived whatever happened. And if they're all gone... Look, hey, let me out and I can help you. I can. I've gotten out of trouble countless times.
Persuasion. Tell me your plan. We can go from there. Yeah, Densa, it's going very well. We're at the very beginning. If you're familiar with the games, or let me restate that. If you're not familiar with the games, let me know. I can give you a short recap. But there's not a lot going on so far. We are a former Jedi who doesn't know what's going on. We were injured aboard a freighter. We're now on a mining facility. It seems deserted. We're looking around. We've fought a few droids. We're still in our underwear. It's the beginning of the game. We're still in our underwear.
This facility isn't a military installation, which means we may have a chance. You shut down the cell security field, and I can reroute the emergency system so we can get to the hangars. We grab a ship, and then we fly out of here.
More persuasion attempts and an intimidate. The miners in the medbay were murdered. You know why? Why don't you tell me what to do, and then we'll see. I might be able to fly a ship out of here without you. No, we're going for persuasion attempts, especially light side persuasion attempts whenever we can. Amnesiac hero is a trope of video games. It is, but you go back in time 10 years and it wasn't as much as it is now. Yep, in our underwear. Splooper. What's going on, Splooper? We'll have some clothes soon. Persuasion. One thing first. The patients in the medical bay were killed with a lethal dose of sedatives. Do you know anything about that?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Wanted to know if you knew anything. And you don't.
So you done interrogating me, or are we gonna work together and try to get out of this mess?
I'm doing great, Splooper. How about you? I trust you, and if we work together, we might be able to get out of this mess. Versus, I'll switch off the cage, but if you try and run, I'll cut you down without a second thought. Suppose you can you actually even leave him there? I don't know if you can just leave him in the cage, but no, he's one of the main characters. I trust you, and we'll work together on this.
Great. Now to business. Let's get to the command console.
Oh no. Seriously, 3 dogs streaming Rising today? Alright, let's go, Atten. First we shake hands. Yeah. Minor electrical burns, that's all.
Right, here we are. This console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you came in. The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into space dust. The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships, usually freighters. Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from the inside. Pure Pazak. The console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown. Hey!
Sounds like you're about to tell me something I don't want to hear.
This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system, it's been cut clean.
Repair prompt. You would need a repair skill level to even get this prompt. That wouldn't be standard procedure in an emergency lockdown.
Someone tried to lock down this whole level tight and leave us here, trapped.
Yes, you do. I'll show you some of the stat screens, Densa. It's a D20 game, so if you've ever played any classic Dungeons & Dragons or any other D20 role-playing game, that's what this really is underneath the surface. And you get to control a lot of the stats like you would in a pen and paper game. Is there anything else we can do with this console?
I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do us.
I don't have a lightsaber yet. This is we're out of the prologue, but this is still the first level of the game. In the first game, you don't get your lightsaber for hours. In this game, we'll have a lightsaber a lot sooner than that, but still don't have one yet. And you get Mandalorian armor in this game. It's been so long. I don't think you can get proper Mandalorian armor. I don't know. I've always gone with Jedi robes, so I don't know too much about the different armor suits. There are a lot of armor sets, but I'm not sure about Mandalorian. There probably is. Let's see if we can try and reach someone on the comm.
Be my guest. Not much else we can do. The comm's all yours.
Look at the hair works. Oh, we're gonna get the best music all week playing this game. Check administrator logs. Access log 25312.
Tracked the freighter in. Was lucky it wasn't destroyed when it drifted into the asteroid field. Not much on board. Annoying protocol
flagship, the Harbinger, when it suffered an engine failure. He says the survivor was a passenger on the vessel and a Jedi. If so, that's gonna mean true. Inventoried the bodies and cargo. Everything matches the protocol droid's story. The T3 droid had seized up, so we left it in storage in standby mode. Don't know what code will access it. It could be it's voice activated for all we know. We put the protocol droid to work in maintenance, sorting the mining droid comm routines and updating the recognition sensors. And to shut him up. When the survivor recovers, hopefully we can get him off this station before there's a...
They should have included some sort of a static noise. The way those things abruptly cut off is awkward. Because it says static, but there's no static noise. They just lose the audio.
Trouble between the work shifts. Word of the Jedi leaked out and the miners aren't sure what to do with him. KotOR's mining crew wanted us to collect the creds for the bounty the Exchange has on Jedi, but I put a stop to that. We're contacting Telos to get the Republic records on the Jedi, but nobody will... No word from the Republic. But I've sent out a broadcom transmission for records on this Ebon Hawk. One of the miners said it used to be a smuggling vessel. Accidents are making the miners restless. The droid behavior course must be undergoing some kind of binary decay. 2 miners were drilled by a droid's mining laser, and those blasts in the ventilation tunnels nearly caused the whole facility to blow.
Comm system. We can contact dormitories, hangar bay. Dormitories. There is no response. Hangar bay 25. As you access Hangar Bay 25, there is a series of low-pitched whistles and beeps. It sounds as if there is a utility droid on the other end. Can you read me? Oh, I'm sorry. The logs are so quiet. Thank you, Dr. P, for saying so. I turned the game audio way, way down when we were in the prologue because it was there was some irritating noise. Let me turn it back up. I am sorry about that. Thank you, Dr. P, for saying that the logs were quiet. I had the sound way down. Way, way down. Let's try that. Let me know now if they are too loud when you hear the next voices. Are you operational? We're trapped on the administration level. Can you unlock the turbo lifts? Well, there must be emergency hatches. Try to find one. Is there some other way out of here? Yes, is there some other way out of here besides the turbo lifts? I'd rather risk it than be trapped up here. Droid noises. All right, journal entry added. Now we're back. We're T3 again. Repair kits. Footlocker. Armor ply plating Mark 1. So that's actually a mod for some armor. Armor ply plating is not a piece of armor, but it's a mod for armor. The herbalist. Is that the subtitles? Is that? Sometimes you're all talking about what the subtitles say, and it takes me a while to realize that that's what you're seeing is subtitles being royally wonky. Components, chemicals, and a sonic grenade. Any idea what party members will be using? Well, we can mix it up. We don't have to just use a particular party member. One of the things put back by the restored content modification is the ability to have HK-47 interrogate other HK units that you encounter that come to assassinate you and eventually find out the location of the HK droid factory, and then you can go and shut down. There's a whole nother level, almost like a different planet, effectively a different planet, when you go to deal with the HK droid factory. So at some point I want to use a lot of HK, but that'll be a while. Alright, what does T3 have? He's got a droid shock arm. Which is pretty effective. else was here? I haven't played this in a few years. I don't really remember where everything is. Bits of it, I'm sure, will come back to me. Sealed door. No option to hack it. Combat mode engaged. Someone has purposely welded this door shut. You'll need to blast it open with explosives. Why is my mute not on? Oh, food. Food. Yeah, I've got a chicken wrap for lunch and make something else for dinner. Alright, no explosives. We'll need to get some explosives before we can bust that door open. T3 is actually very good. Writing by letters. Nothing wrong with using T3 as a party member for general combat. His movement is fantastic. For a droid, he's very agile. So food, need in belly. Oh yes. Yes indeed. Hangar bay door. The emergency blast door is magnetically sealed and no amount of security or explosives will open it. You'll need to override it from a console. I'm pretty sure there would be some amount of explosives that could open it, but okay game if you insist. Repair kit. Repair kit. Hangar control. Paragus hangar control. System diagnostic. System damaged. Repair. Several parts have been removed from this console, and a laser drill has been used on a number of subsystems. Despite the sabotage, however, the console's basic functionality was intended to be restored quickly by replacing the missing parts. Repair. Replace the missing parts. Mira, you like Mira? Honestly, I like Handmaiden and Visas the best, but doesn't necessarily mean I will run around with two powerful force sensitives in tow. But I might. They're a lot of fun. What I'd like to try and do, and some of this has to do with the restored content mod, you can spar with the Handmaiden. It's sparring with the Handmaiden is one of the coolest things in this game. It gets progressively more into her family's backstory, and you can turn your companions into Jedi in this game. I don't want to spoil too much in advance, because it's neat how it develops, but you can encourage your companions to be light side or dark side, and you can even train them as Jedi. So one of the things I like to do is turn the Handmaiden into a Jedi, and it takes some work. You have to spar with her enough times and get a lot of her family's backstory, and eventually you get an opportunity to train her as a Jedi. It's super cool. So that's one of the things I think I'd like to do in this playthrough, is train Handmaiden as a Jedi. Visas, she's an amazing character. One of the things that was restored is the ability to spar with Visas on the Ebon Hawk under Krea's guidance. There's so many cool things. If you're not familiar with what was restored in the mod, take a look at the link I just put in chat. That is basically the changelog. Planet by planet, what was restored, what wasn't restored, and why. So much stuff was put into this game, and since we are playing the restored content mod, I'd like to get as much of that. I'd like to engage as much of the restored content as possible, especially for those who haven't seen it before. Sorta. Sort of. Not the outcome. I mean, the eventual outcome is the same. What happened after the repair? Did we not get more functions? Let's go back in here. Repair. Did I not do it? Oh, failure. You'll need some basic parts to restore this console. I thought I had them. Oh, that's my skill. I don't have any repair parts. My bad. You never cared for Visas that much, but you liked Handmaiden? I think the Visas talking about the destruction of her world adds a lot to her character. I really do like her character quite a bit. Yeah, it's been a few years. It's been a few years writing by letters. Repair kit, not the same as repair parts. Indeed, repair kits are like med kits, med packs for droids. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. More than a little rusty. Into the fuel depot. Wonder, can I queue up attacks on multiple targets? I think I can. Let's see if that works. I should, yeah, attack the guy on the left first. And then move to this. All right, excellent. Multi-target queued attacks. That's what I wanted to see. Droid Ion Striker. Datapad. And some sonic mines. Here's the datapad. Purge the fuel lines, and I found 3 sonic charges attached inside. I checked the work logs, and only droids have been in the area. I tried to contact security as soon as I found the explosives, but I can't seem to get a signal through. I've removed the remote detonators, and I'll keep the explosives on me until I can put them in a secure hold. The wrecked droid contains a special droid-based item that when equipped allows droids to perform special attacks against opponents. This destroy droid contains an ion blaster, which is extremely effective against droid opponents and energy shields. It only has a limited number of charges, after which it's destroyed. So the shock arm is permanently usable. But the ion blast has 10 uses, as does this Ion Striker and the Neural Pacifier. Each of those are 10 uses, and you can see they have different stats. This is ion damage 15 points, on hit stun 100% for 12 seconds, so it will stun. But the save is a DC 10. So you will get stunned for 12 seconds unless you roll a difficulty check 10, well, unless your opponent does. And then they ignore the stun. Ion Striker, 20 points of damage, range medium. Neural Pacifier, range medium, save, DC 15 to negate the 9-second stun. Does no damage. T3 can use 2-hand blasters? Huh. I don't think I ever noticed that. Yeah, we could put a mining... he already has a mining laser equipped. But yeah, we could equip extra weapons. We don't need to. I think we're at the end of the line here, though. We are so lucky, Densa, that throughout this entire game we get all the good John Williams. Enemies powering up shields, they're getting a little tougher. So now I have the option of using that Ion Blast or my Shock Arm. Let's go ahead and show you what the Ion Blast does. And if it doesn't take them out, we'll use the Shock Arm. That Ion Blast looks like it nuked the shields. And then the Shock Arm took him out. So very effective. Same idea here. Ion Blast, and then shock him. Fry the shields, fry the droid. John Williams the 8th. I think we've got explosives now. Yes, I've got a frag mine. We can use this deadly sonic mine. Okay, a sonic mine. Is a sonic mine actually going to open the door? Well, let's find out. I wouldn't have expected a sonic mine to work. Maybe it will. 3CFD. This utility droid looks as if it has suffered irreparable damage. Droid flamethrower. Flamethrower. Deadly sonic mine. We could use a mine to open the lock. That's not what we want to do. Let's try to just pick this lock. Computer spike, retinal combat implant, and a Rakatan band. Rakatan band. I don't know how you say that. Rakatan. Go with Rakatan. Adrenal stamina. So that's one of the stims that you can get. Hangar control. Repair. Now we've got one repair part. Functionality restored. Access emergency control commands, hangar logs, camera controls, and a comm system. And with the spike, we can access the hangar bay layout. Why not? Got 3 spikes. Success! The hangar bay map can now be referenced on the journal screen. All exits, rooms, and important areas will have their own ID signatures labeled on the map. Turn to main functions. Let's take a look at the cameras. Hangar 25, the Ebon Hawk. The main cargo hold. Security cargo room we were just in. The decontamination area, we have not been there yet. Emergency control commands. Repair, run a diagnostic on damaged systems. Diagnostic running. All emergency subsystems rerouted. Fuel depot terminal. Success. Access to the Paragus emergency subsystems have been rerouted to a fuel depot, computer terminal, and the connecting circuits have been burned out with a mining laser, preventing remote access. Computer, check status of emergency subsystems. Hangar bay sealed, fuel depot sealed. With 1 spike, we can open the blast door to the hangar, and with 1 spike, we can open the blast door to the fuel depot. Lucky us, we've got 2 spikes. Warning, conduit removed. The door to the hangar bay where the Ebon Hawk lies has had its power conduit surgically removed. You cannot slice this terminal or make a workaround for it out of parts. You'll need to replace the original conduit in order to open it. In that case, open the blast door to the fuel depot. Return to main functions. Comm system. Run a diagnostic on damaged systems. Comm system from hangar inoperative. That is it for now. On we go to the fuel depot. This game has a fairly slow start. Even though the overall pace of the game is staggered, you could still say that it has a slow start. And the first KotOR is similar. You have a very long first planet in KotOR. A lot of people will spend 6 to 10 hours on the first planet in KotOR and get really bored doing it, even though it's beautiful. And some of it's very interesting. I think the pacing at the beginning here is a little better. Droid shock arm. Don't think these are... They don't have shields up, I don't believe. So let's... Yeah, let's take a simple attack. Uh-oh, he's not dead. Thought he was. Oh, I better pay attention. Come on. Oh yeah. It's very well written. It's just... It's a large map, and it's a bit overwhelming for people, and yet the pace of it all, you have to spend so many hours on the introductory planet. Like, I want to go to Tatooine, I want to go to Kashyyyk, where are we? What is this? But yeah, you spend so much time, eventually you fall in love with it, and then spoilers. Yeah, they did a great job with it. Nevertheless, it gets a lot of complaints. Sonic grenades, components, ion cell. I believe that ion cell is a weapon mod. I was watching Jedi last night, and yeah, Endor, the third moon of Endor. Fuel control console, main console commands, access remote cameras, fuel line sensors. There is something in there, and a mine. The fuel line deposits in fuel into docked starships. Since no ships are currently docked in the Paragus facility, it is sealed. There appears to be some sort of metal case lying inside the fuel pipe, but you can't make it out. Maintenance level. Entrance to the droid maintenance area. It said something. Hold on, going back in. The droid maintenance area has been sealed by emergency lockdown. However, new programming has been introduced to keep it from opening, even if the lockdown is canceled. There's no way to shut down the field that you can see from this terminal. This means anyone inside the facility is effectively cut off from the hangar bay. Why would that be? Call up the systems log. Within the past day, a series of explosions within the Paragus mining facility has enacted an emergency lockdown. Someone has sliced into the fuel depot computers and created a phantom fuel leak, sealing off the area with force fields to contain the blast. It looks as if someone has been using the lockdown to systematically isolate sections of the facility. Call up emergency system schematics. Status deactivated. Open the emergency hatch to Paragus administration level. Opening. Done. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. Poor T3.
So is that stupid droid of yours gonna come through or not?
That's really awesome. They have an achievement in Battlefront for getting hit in the head with a rock thrown by an Ewok. That's pretty awesome. Hey, David, what's up? How you been? Are you excited for Star Wars this week? I hope. Give him a little more time.
Well, I'm beginning to think I was a little better off in my...
And there's that emergency hatch.
Hey, what do you know? A little cargo cylinder came through.
It looks like it, but it's strange he didn't contact us on the comm.
If he got the turbo lifts working, then we should have a clear run to the hangar.
We don't have a clear run to the hangar. All that's open is the emergency hatch. Nope. It wasn't exactly a poll or a vote, but I tend to lean light side. So even though this game scolds you for being too light or too dark and reminds you that the world is very, very gray, and it's one of the most important themes in the game, I will still be leaning light side. There are bonuses you only get leaning one way or the other. Mods, gear, as well as general bonuses. So yes, turbo lifts are locked down manually. So I had him open the emergency hatch.
Don't tell me you're taking that hatch down into the mining tunnels. Are you? That explosion I heard came from below. There's probably nothing down there except superheated rock and collapsed blast tunnels. You'd be an idiot to go down there.
Look at these options. If it's dangerous in those tunnels, then you're the one going, not me. Maybe, but it's the only way out, and it's better I risk my life than yours. And the true answer: a Jedi's life is sacrifice. Besides, someone's got to save our skins.
You're either really brave or really crazy, or both. All right, I'll try to monitor things from up here. And be careful. The only thing moving down there is likely to be mining droids, so don't be playing hero too hard. Not that I care what happens to you or anything. I just don't want to be trying to get off this rock by myself.
Your concern is noted. I'll be going now.
I'll keep the comm link open. I may be able to guide you through the tunnels from up here. Don't know if the signal will hold if you get too deep, though.
You have received a comlink. Party members or others may use it to contact you, to help you or provide information. Light side points gained. Oh, that music. Man, I can't even hear that music without getting chills. Howdy, Dumbleck, how are you doing? Good evening. Yeah, David.
We have some Jedi stuff to do.
You've got some real treats ahead of you. You've never played them. You've got some real treats ahead of you. And I'm referring to the original ones, not so much the updated films, the newer films, or the updated versions of the old ones. Let's take a look at our map. Do I have quick access to the map? I don't really. We have to go to the full map here. Here we go. We can kind of target things on the map. There's a prison and the comm blister, etc. What else is there? Security room, emergency hatch, medical bay. We could go back and talk to Kreia. In theory, we could go back and talk to Kreia. And remember where, I know I think I can open that other hatch now. You thought you'd fail the big exam and you passed it? Awesome, Dumbleck, congratulations on passing it and getting your winter break. Sweet. Damaged mining droid. This droid still has power, but it's no longer receiving a signal from the droid's central controller. We can repair it. Use computer skill to examine the behavior core failure. A diagnostic of the droid's behavior core reveals nothing. We can detonate the droid, repair the droid. What do I have? One repair part. Success! You have scavenged a few components from the mining droid. Obviously didn't choose what I thought I did. Leave the droid alone. We've received some components. Yeah, I thought we were repairing it to functionality. Repair in this case is a scavenge. You have scavenged a few components. More components. You watch New Year's every year, you watch the long versions of the Lord of the Rings films. Spend a good solid 12 hours watching Lord of the Rings. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. This airlock will only open if something docks. I think we need to backtrack to the emergency door that was opened, but just to show you, I can't remember. Can we open this blast door, or it opens later?
Emergency lockdown is
magnetically sealed.
Turbolifts have been
So that force speed is going to help me get around the level more quickly, and eventually it'll help in combat. Mostly for now, though, it just makes it easier to run. Down to the mining tunnels. Yes, for a minute I thought you and Kreia were telepathic.
What did you say? Your signal's crammed with static. There's a lot of interference down there, probably caused by that explosion. Still, it looks like there's a route down to the Paragus fuel depot. If the passages haven't collapsed, that explosion knocked out most of the sensors. There should be an emergency crate in the next room. Watch yourself. There's a lot of droid broadcasts in that area, but I can't pin them down.
Alert me immediately if you pick up anything else.
Will do. And be careful down there.
Guess what we finally get here? Clothes! We finally get clothes. A miner uniform, med pack, survey gear, a mining shield, and a safety harness. So it's time to gear up.
Emergency supplies?
Yeah, and it looks like there's some clothes in here.
About time. The whole half-naked Jedi thing was wearing a little thin. But there may be some survey gear and a safety harness inside the crate, too. The The miners wear them when staking claims on the asteroids. The survey gear is designed to spot and protect you against sonic mines, and the safety harness can be helpful if you try to disarm them.
There's some kind of mining energy shield in this crate, too.
Yeah, it's like a military-issue energy shield, except it's designed to protect the miners against lasers and heat. Should work against the droid mining lasers. It won't last forever, and certainly not against multiple laser hits. But it may buy you some time if you get ambushed by a battalion of droids.
How comforting. Tell me how it works.
Just equip it on your wrist, and then you can activate it like a med pack. Again, it won't last forever, so make it count.
I'm so glad we're playing this. I'm sure it won't be for everyone, but I hope that Star Wars hype will overcome any of the frustrations people have with the pace of a turn-based role-playing game. We're going to be playing this all week. It's on the schedule through the weekend. There's a chance we'll finish earlier than I have it scheduled. There's also an extra day in case we need that. So, but plan on this going all the way through the weekend. So we've got 12 hours today, 6 tomorrow, 6 Thursday, 8 Friday, 12 Saturday, and potentially another, a finale on Sunday. This is going to be so awesome. When are y'all going to see Star Wars? Is anybody going on a Thursday pre-showing? I'm seeing it Friday morning. I'm going to see the earliest showing there is on Friday morning. So that I'll be back here for the stream. Understood. Anything else?
Just one more thing. I've narrowed down some of the ID signals, and if the numbers are right, you're sharing those tunnels with a battalion of mining droids.
Can I sneak by them?
You could, if you have the skill in a stealth field generator. These droids rely on thermal sensors, primarily to detect fuel deposits. The good thing is, that explosion down there kicked up so much heat and steam it may blind them. A bit, but not much. There's gotta be some central controller down there. See if you can find a terminal by the main access shaft.
Splooper, that's what I'm doing. It's about 10 a.m. Or it's like a 10:30 show-in or something. How about IMAX or 3D? I'm seeing it on a regular theater. I'm pretty old school. I don't want to see it in 3D. IMAX would be cool, but the nearest IMAX is like 60 miles away. Is anybody gonna see it in IMAX? Azul, Scorpion, Christmas Eve. You're waiting until Christmas Eve? Oh, good luck. Good luck. That's a cool time to see it, though. Azul, how are you doing? I think Christmas Eve should be pretty awesome for that. Components, parts. Just make a couple static saves. I'm glad there's a quick save because my keyboard is kind of out of reach here. Controller support is I'm so glad we got controller support in this game. I suppose armor would be in order. Miner uniform, we'll put on some clothes. Just to look at that again, the miner uniform has a single point of defense bonus. It's not much. It's not much. Survey gear, we can put 2 different pieces in our head slot, only one at a time though. We can get +1 wisdom from a Rakatan band, or +1 awareness and a 5 DR against Sonic. And that's pretty much a permanent 5 DR against Sonic. So that's good in case we set off any charges. We've got a little bit of defense. Retinal combat implant. I can't use this because it requires at least 14 constitution, but it grants you immunity against critical hits. Well, that's awesome, and I can't wear it. Too bad. Energy shield. We could equip an energy shield or a Paragus mining shield. They're similar, but a little different. The energy shield absorbs energy and electrical, 40 points. Lasts 20 seconds or max damage taken, 5 uses. Similarly, this mining shield has limited uses and a 200-second duration, but it absorbs heat, 20 points of heat. So we can actually equip both and then switch which one. If we want to activate one or the other, they're both going to be available. We have that stealth field generator equipped in the belt slot, but we could switch to safety harness. That'll bump our demolitions up by 1 and would allow us to maybe better disarm or even recover the mines. So depending on whether we want to sneak through or fight through, I'm going to go with the safety harness and we'll try to pick up some mines. Talking about turn-based. Writing by Letters is calling KotOR a hidden turn game. Yeah, you don't have to have the pauses. If you want to, you can play it a little more real time, although it gets messy. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get overwhelmed in combat very easily without stopping to pause things. But it is an option. There's our first outfit. A lot of the headpieces seem really weird to me. There's a lot of powerful mods, gear you can put in the head slot, and I don't like a lot of them because they're ugly. You know, vanity, sometimes in a role-playing game, vanity just trumps all. But if you look down here in the corner, we've got, in addition to Burst of Speed, we have buffs now. We can use a med pack or a stamina buff, energy shield, or the Paragus mining shield, sonic mines, and then this is our party mode. So if we're fighting as a party, we can assign aggressive, range, stationary, Jedi support, that sort of thing. I didn't need that force speed. Minor sonic...
Watch where you step.
Thank you,
Picking
Atten.
up a lot of sonic mines down there. Don't run unless you have
Damn
to.
it, Kaz.
Makes them harder to spot. If you have any skill with demolitions, you might be able to recover them and use them against the droids. That is, if the mines don't get you first. If you have survey gear or a safety harness, put them on. They'll make spotting and disarming the sonic charges a little easier.
You've just entered a building. Damn it, Kaz. Why are there so many charges down here?
Those mining droids, especially the excavator models, are designed to arm and set sonic charges for mining. Chances are if they still had charges after they went rogue, then they may have set them to try and kill the miners. And you. If you see one of those excavators, watch out. They may use their undeployed charges as projectiles.
Understood. Jason Taban out. See if we can recover the mines. Failed. It says skill too low. Doesn't mean we can't roll a 20 though. Because it said skill too low. It didn't say impossible. I can't remember. Does skill too low mean you don't have a chance? Maybe that does mean you don't have a chance. Maybe that's sort of like saying impossible. But generally, if you just fail a roll, you can retry it. Unless it's something that blows up in your face, of course. Now watch, I should be able to disarm this even if I can't recover it. I'm guessing I'll be able to disable it. There you go. So this mine was disabled, but it's no longer recoverable. Just disable them. Yes, this is a Star Wars RPG. It is Azul Scorpion. This is the second Knights of the Old Republic game. So the MMO that exists, the TOR Star Wars MMO, is the Old Republic. And in a large way, it took the place of what was supposed to be a third game in the series. Nice reference. Sometimes you gotta roll the hard 6. I don't have any, I don't think I have any Adama queued up, or do I? Oh, I don't even have my hotkeyed GIFs on this, this flipped screen. Damn it. No GIFs today. I'll have to get them set up on this flipped layout. Yeah, I was gonna try and bring up Adama for you there, Splooper. But anyways, Azul Scorpion, Knights of the Old Republic was BioWare's famous Star Wars role-playing game. Classic Star Wars tale, huge plot twist. This is the sequel. It was done by Obsidian, and it follows the same model as Knights of the Old Republic, but is a much more ambiguous story. So this is where you find out just how conflicted a lot of the Jedi are, how conflicted the Jedi Council were, and you explore a lot of the gray areas between the light and the dark side in this one. Critical strike, okay. Reactivate the droid, 1 repair part, I've got 10, go for it. Got 9 parts left. What do we want to do with this droid? What do we want to do? We can optimize the weaponry, the targeting systems, engage it in patrol mode, that takes 6 parts though, and or disable it and move past it, or blow it up. If I only had 1 more part, we could do 2 of these things. We can engage the droid in patrol mode, but without optimizing its weaponry or targeting systems, it won't be as useful. We don't have enough parts to do both. Hey, Procyon. Weren't you here already today? Procyon. Welcome back. Welcome back, I think. Alright. Don't have enough parts to do much else, so. The droid engages its patrol mode and moves off to carry off your programmed instructions. A good question. Good question. Why have you never heard of it? When did the first one come out? When did Knights of the Old Republic come out? It was... we're gonna have to look it up, I think, but it was like 2006-ish? Does that sound right for Knights of the Old Republic? When did KotOR 1 come out, and when did this game come out? I like flurries better, but initially I'm going to use power attacks and critical attacks. And then when I start using flurry, you're going to see flurry more than anything else. That'll be my main attack. It was earlier. Okay. KotOR 2 was 0405. All right, I'm off by a few years. It's older than I'm giving it credit for. So notice how I cannot go into stealth mode. Stealth is grayed out here. It's grayed out because I took the belt off. If I wanted to stealth in, that's an option. But I'd have to swap out the demolitions belt for the stealth generator. I guess this, that's not the friendly one. So notice I'm finally taking damage. I'm blocking it a little bit. Maybe I'll move the camera a bit more. But you can see I'm finally taking damage. I'm nearly at half health. This thing's getting healed up. All right, hold on. Did you see this thing getting healed up? We need to do something. We need to do something with this before he heals up the droid endlessly. Come on, switch targets. Come on. This thing's hard to hit. And I am nearly dead, so we clear combat, and I'm going to use a med pack. First med pack of the game. Why am I not... All right, hold on. How do I clear it like that? There we go. Med pack. We need the med pack cured up. There you go. And how about some regular attacks? We need to take this guy out. We're never gonna get the droid. There we go. Oh, I'm dead. I wasn't paying enough attention. Let's clear combat and see if I can get that med pack off in time. But I may actually take a death here. Good luck. Ah, he animated, but it wasn't in time. First death. Your entire party of one has been killed. Sectox, playing on normal. I don't feel like stretching out the combat. Just playing on normal. Cranking it up to hard just means we're gonna spend more time debating combat tactics and less time exploring the story in the world. Yeah, energy shield. Energy shield. I'll go in with an energy shield. In fact, let's go in with the Paragus mining shield. 200 seconds or max damage taken. We'll keep the med packs queued up. I'll go ahead and use my burst of speed. We'll go back in. Come on now. And we'll use mostly standard attacks, because there's no defense penalties with the standard attacks. could also throw an ion grenade in. That would be pretty effective. Oh, hold on. He's being healed up. Switch. I don't know if the ion grenade can hit this thing, but I'm awful tempted to find out. Toss it. Blam. Blam! Another mining shield, a couple buffs, and a couple plain energy shields. Have I never seen Samurai Jack? Believe it or not, I have not. I have not. Jade Empire, by the way, if you're not familiar with Jade Empire, or you haven't thought about it in a long time, and I've never played it, I would love to play it. I'm gonna play it sometime on stream. It's free right now. Jade Empire Special Edition is free. As long as you don't have too many hang-ups on using Origins, Jade Empire is free right now on Origins. Classic BioWare RPG. You should probably all pick it up. I will permit you. Writing by letters. Go for it. I beat you to it once in a million years. Unless I had a typo. Woohoo! Hey Dina, how you doing? Yes, I beat Lamia to it once in a while. Once in a while.
Hey, watch out. That explosion has superheated the tunnels ahead. That steam will cook the skin off your bones. If you can find a mining energy shield, switch it on. It should protect you against the heat if you move quickly enough.
And actually, this is when I should have used the mining shield. I'm not sure the shield helped me too much against those droids. Weren't they using energy weapons or were they heat weapons? I don't know. Understood. Jacintaban out. Here's that mining shield. We can also run through it a little more quickly. Oh, and I forgot to level up. Alright. Level up. We've got an extra feat this time. Skills, 3 skill points. We're going to keep Persuasion capped whenever possible. What else do we want to invest in? We won't have a Force heal for a while. It might be worth an extra point in Treat Injury. Security, awareness, stealth. I don't usually stealth too much through the game. Go with some extra security. A little extra treat injury and a little extra security. Beats. We won't have improved 2-weapon fighting until level 4. What are we now, level 3? But I will want that at level 4. We'll also want flurry. We won't be able to get improved flurry and improved 2-weapon fighting. We're not using two-handed weapon or 2 weapons yet, but I'm investing in these already, so as soon as we switch weapons, we won't be at as much of a penalty. My main attack will be flurry, and my main weapons will be either double-bladed or dual-wielding. And I won't be investing in any range skills. Unlikely that I would. Gearhead, conditioning. Conditioning's a nice general one. If you have nothing else to spend on, conditioning gives you a bonus to all your saving throws. Empathy gives you a +1 bonus to persuade, awareness, and treat injury, so that's a good one. Empathy, especially for a light side character. You take a look at that, Densa. Oh, that's hot. That's very hot. I like. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with empathy. Improved caution gives you +2 bonus to demo and stealth. Oh, that's rank 2. +1 and then eventually +2. Yes, I think we're good. Powers, we get an extra power. We won't be able to get rank 2 night speed until level 9. We won't be able to get a force heal until level 6. Force Valor improves saving throws and physical attributes of the party for 40, or it said 20 seconds. Boy, I'm gonna get tongue-tied reading all this stuff. Menus, and stats. Energy resistance absorbs the first 6 points of damage from each attacks. Battle meditation. What do I often use? Where's lightsaber throw? No, we don't have a lightsaber yet. Doesn't mean we don't want to skill up in advance. Throw lightsaber. So I could spend my power point on throw lightsaber even though we don't have one yet, but then we'll have it when the time comes. But let me actually not do that. Let me talk about 2 different powers we've got here. Hey, Arnold. How are you doing? What's up? You stoked for Star Wars? Oh, everybody should be stoked for Star Wars. The 2 different stuns, that's what I want to talk about. One for droids, one for humanoids. We've got... where is it here? Stun droid. There are a lot of droids. You don't exactly choose though. When you say which side did you choose, you choose throughout the game. I'm gonna lean towards light side. I'm gonna be playing light side, but it's not exactly. You don't exactly pick light or dark at the start of the game. You organically make decisions throughout the game that take you in one direction or the other. We're gonna be leaning towards the light side. How are you doing, Weaver of Nightmares? I actually didn't. Writing by letters and Weaver of Nightmares, you're both showing in the same purple for me. I think the names were blurring together. Weaver of Nightmares, how are you doing? I don't think I saw you come into chat. But anyway, Stun Droid, very useful, especially in Knights of the Old Republic 2. There are more droids early in the game than there are humanoids. Stun Droid is very powerful, but eventually we will also want Stun. Stun Droid and Stun both. One for droids, one for humanoids. So let's go with Stun Droid. I'm gonna get Stun Droid now and then Stun later. I'm doing great. Weaver of Nightmares, I'm super excited for Star Wars this week. I'm loving this music and I love this game. So, pretty good. Pretty good. How are you? Check out what I've got now. It's a force power, and it will use my, at this point, very small force bar. But let's go ahead and Stun Droid. And then some follow-up attacks if he's still alive. You can also use Stun Droid to blow up mines. If you can't disable them or recover them, you can just blow them up. But let's try a recovery. Skill too low. All right, we'll disable it. Lance, what's up? Star Wars hype all week long. All week long, Star Wars hype. It's not just gonna be this week. Everybody's still gonna be hyped. Next week and the week after. Another mining shield and an energy shield, another buff, adrenal strength, med pack, credits. I'm gonna throw an ion grenade in here. Let's see, which one? Yeah, let's throw an ion grenade at the guy in the back. It might hit the guys in the front too. If not, we'll have one to take down. But I think they're all... Oh, 2 out of 3. We're clustered up. Nice. Miss. Miss. Well, let's stun him then. I'm not sure what you mean, Arnold. What? Arnold, what? I'm not sure what you mean. What do I think? I don't. I have no thoughts on that. It's, I know Star Wars has stereotypically been without a healthy racial mix. That's one of the things it's always been criticized for. And then, of course, the prequels did an awkward job of trying to remedy that. And I don't really think it's worth discussing. Were you supposed to be? What? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're getting close to something big. I think it's the main ventilation shaft. If so, the central droid controller should be somewhere nearby. Keep an eye out for it. I'm picking up a lot of droids. If you still have a mining energy shield, I'd equip it and switch it on.
Can I just sneak by them? There aren't just mining droids down here, there are sensor balls too.
Sensor? It must be maintenance drones. Yeah, watch out. Those little pests will try to repair the mining droids if you don't gun them down first. Still, it's odd they're still active after the explosion. They don't have the same shielding as the mining droids. Be careful of those droids. I don't like this.
Arnold, I would recommend dropping the subject. That's what I'd recommend. This is not going to go anywhere good. This discussion can't possibly go anywhere productive. So why don't we not go there? Why don't we not go there? Yeah, not everybody is a clone of Jango Fett anymore. Not everybody is a clone. Excuse me, Jango. That's not what I'm. You know what I'm talking about. Not everybody in Stormtrooper gear is a clone. Certainly not by the time we get to the original trilogy. I mean, by that point in time, the Empire was actively recruiting for Stormtroopers. They were recruiting for Stormtroopers. It's not discussed much in the movies, but it's kind of covered in the books and extended materials. They were literally recruiting from the public. You could join the Imperial ranks and become a Stormtrooper. So that's long past everyone being a clone. Anyways, let's not go there. But we don't need to have race discussions here. Understood. Jason Taban out.